I've been doing a little more research, so I got another banger for you. I maybe got a little ahead of myself with that alchemy video. I'm a little closer to the truth. In 1317, Pope John the 22nd issued a decree banning something very specific: the creation of gold through alchemical processes. The penalty? Excommunication and prison. So I asked myself, why would the most powerful institution in medieval Europe ban something that doesn't work? Unless it did work. Let me show you something that's been hiding in plain sight for 700 years. I started digging through old alchemical texts. Not the mystical nonsense you see in movies, but the actual laboratory notebooks of people like Geber, Paracelsus, and Roger Bacon. And I found something consistent across all of them, a process they called the 14 gradations. Here's what they wrote, and I'll translate for you because it was written in Latin. Take mercury of the purest kind, add to it the philosophical salt derived from the first matter. Add the red sulfur, purified 7 times, and a seed of the perfect metal as a ferment. Place this in a vessel of the philosophers and heat gently in a bed of sand for 14 days and 14 nights without cessation. First matter? That's urine. They were being poetic, but every alchemist knew this. 14 days of constant gentle heat in a sand bath. Every single serious alchemical text mentions this. So what were they actually doing? Fast forward to 1962, a French scientist named Louis Kervran published research that gets him immediately ridiculed by the physics community. He proves that chickens eating mica, which contains silicon, were producing calcium carbonate eggshells. Not just using calcium from food, creating calcium that wasn't there before. Silicon has 14 protons, calcium has 20. Somehow, living chickens were adding 6 protons to silicon's atoms. According to physics, this is impossible. You need millions of electron volts and a particle accelerator to change elements. But chickens were doing it while eating corn. Kervran documented 40 examples of this. He called it biological transmutation. And after decades of being mocked, Japanese researchers replicated his experiments in 2013. It's real. The secret? A molecule called NAD, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. Every cell in your body has billions of NAD molecules right now. They're electron shuttles. They grab electrons from one molecule and deliver it to others. Your entire metabolism runs on NAD. And here's the key! NAD can break chemical bonds and reform them. It's nature's way of rearranging atoms. Now, would you guess what's in concentrated urine? Uric acid, which is a precursor to NAD. Urea, which breaks down into compounds that support NAD synthesis. The medieval alchemists were concentrating biological electron transfer molecules without knowing that the molecules even existed. They just knew that urine salts plus mercury plus heat equals transformation. So here's what actually happens in those 14 days. Translated into modern chemistry. You start with liquid mercury, element 80 on the periodic table. You add purified sulfur and concentrated NAD from urine salts. You add a tiny piece of gold as a seed, and we'll get to why. You bury this in a mixture of hot sand, and you keep it at about 300 degrees Fahrenheit and maintain that temperature day and night for 2 weeks. Day 1, the mixture turns black. The mercury and the sulfur are making mercury sulfide. The heat is activating the NAD molecules. Day 3 to 4, it turns white. The NAD is cycling, switching between NAD plus and NADH, capturing electrons and releasing them. This exact process is happening in your mitochondria right now to make energy. Day 5 to 7, a yellow color appears. At the molecular level, lighter transmutation is happening. The texts call this the yellowing stage. They're seeing the beginnings of the gold characteristics. Day 8 to 10, a deep red color. More complex atomic restructuring. But here's where it gets wild, because it's documented in text after text after text. Around day 10, 11, or 12, something changes. Multiple alchemists wrote about how the mixture suddenly brightening, or the stone revealing itself, or the work completed rapidly. What they were describing is what modern physics would call autocatalytic cascade. See, that gold seed you added? Gold atoms vibrate at a specific electromagnetic frequency. As the mercury atoms absorb electrons from the NAD, and thermal energy from the heat, some of them start to resonate at the same frequency. One mercury atom restructures to match the gold template, then 2, then 4, then 8. It's exponential. Each new gold atom becomes another template, and the process accelerates. And after 10 days of preparation, that concentration hits a critical threshold, and cascade happens. Not instantly, but over a few hours. You can actually watch the colors brighten and shift as the concentration of gold increases. This is what is meant by before their eyes, not magic, autocatalytic nuclear cascade, triggered by biological electron transfer over time. In 1924, two physicists working independently, Adolf Meithe in Germany and Hataro Nagoka in Japan, both announced that they had transmuted mercury into gold using high voltage electrical discharge. The scientific community destroyed them, called it contamination, fraud, delusion, but neither man backed down. Both published their detailed procedures, and both stood by their results until the day they died. And then in 2025, Marathon Fusion Corporation successfully transmuted mercury-198 into gold-197 using neutron bombardment from fusion reactions. They confirmed what alchemists knew. Mercury to gold is easier than lead to gold because mercury is only one proton away from gold. The pathway exists, the question is just energy and method. High energy, short time, modern physics, particle accelerators. Low energy with long time and biological catalyst, that's alchemy. Same destination, different path. So were medieval alchemists actually making gold? Some of them probably, yeah. Most failed because they didn't understand the variables, temperature control, purity of material, the critical role of the biological catalyst. But the ones who succeeded, they were doing low-energy nuclear transmutation, mediated by biological electron transfer molecules. They weren't wizards, they were biochemists 400 years before biochemistry existed. The really crazy part? Your body is doing this right now. Bacteria in your gut are creating elements. Your cells are rearranging atoms with the NAD molecules. Life has been doing alchemy since the beginning. We just forgot how it works. If this blew your mind, like, comment, share, and as always, follow for more mind-bending content.